Listen, when it comes to AI, I do have lines that I do not want to cross. And in this episode of AI in Marketing, I want to talk all about it. Also, sidebar, this episode is going on YouTube. So if you are watching this on YouTube, say hi in the comment below. And also know that this is part of an entire free audio series that I have produced showcasing the exact ways that I use ChatGPT and chat-based AI in my business and in my life every single day. Grab it for free in the link below this video. But as I was saying, I use AI every day in my business, and also I have a line, and I think you should have a line too. One of the things that I talk about a lot in my business is establishing business boundaries, both in how you communicate within your business and how you want to be seen and communicate in your marketing. And with AI, yeah, I know it's a super powerful tool. You could use it for literally everything, but the downside and the risk of that is that you end up sounding robotic. You end up losing connection with the very people that you're trying to connect with. And let's be honest, you just feel icky at the end of the day when you're overusing AI. So today I want to share the ways that I create my own boundaries by using AI and how I've tested those boundaries to make sure that I can hold firm with them. So first of all, I do not use AI for everything. Okay. ChatGPT to me is an assistant to my thought process. I don't have it think for me. And that's the very key, very big distinction in how I use AI. AI is not generating thoughts for me. As someone who teaches other people how to become thought leaders, I think it's very important that you have your own frameworks, your own philosophies. And a lot of these come from practical use cases, right? Like when I think about, some scientist who's coming up with like a new solution to something. Yes, they study the past. Okay. They study historical data, but then they experiment, they test, they iterate. And through all that experimentation, they create something new. So from my perspective, I'm a very firm believer in that AI is not producing new ideas. It's assisting you with your own idea generation. Okay. That has to come from you. And listen, I know AI can do it. Okay. Technically, you could go to ChatGPT, start with a blank screen and go, I don't know, write a 300-word blog post for me on Threads marketing. Okay. Sure, you could do that in AI. However, all that ChatGPT is going to do is look at everything everyone else has written and write something that kind of sounds like it. Okay. That means you aren't standing out. You're blending in. Your thoughts and ideas are so similar to everyone else's that it's going to be bland. It's going to be boring, and it's going to end up sounding like ChatGPT did it because it did. So when I think about these like AIs replacing comments, I don't think AI can replace human thought process. However, it matches and mirrors what humans think and feel. And yeah, you could do that really fast with AI, but fast isn't always better. Okay. We're not trying to produce as many blog posts as possible. We're trying to become known for something in our space, in our industry, through our marketing. And that has to come from our brains, friends. Okay. So some other things that I don't use AI for. I don't use AI for messaging, specifically responding to comments or messages on social media. I like that to come from me. So what that means is probably gonna have a spelling mistake. It may not make sense. It may be emoji response, or I may miss it and not respond at all, especially living the life of having a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. My mom brain is cranked all the way up. So I don't have time for that. So that comes from me. I do not use ChatGPT for coaching or personalized advice. Now, there's a little bit of an asterisk here because what I do use ChatGPT for is organizing my thoughts. So an example is this week I was working with one of my clients, and I wanted to see some trends in her work, and I take notes on all of my clients' calls and I transcribe all of them. And so I put that into ChatGPT, removing her details. Okay. We don't want to give ChatGPT personal information. And then I use voice to text my favorite hack, to explain to ChatGPT what I'm thinking and to have it help me fill in the gaps in my thought process. I asked specifically for follow-up questions based on the historical data of that conversation. So while I use it, again, as an assistant, the thoughts came from me. Okay. So personal DMs, no. Client and coaching calls, no. Big decisions, no. If I ask AI for ideas, usually it starts from my idea first, and then I talk through it with AI. And sometimes I'll say, pretend to be my life coach or pretend to be my business coach. Here's what I'm thinking. Or even more specifically, recently I've been having a lot of conversations with my business coach, especially in this last year when I've rebranded and repivoted my business. And one of those conversations is, here's the direction that I want to go with my business. Can you give me some encouragement on this? Or what are the gaps that I'm missing? I'll use it for math a lot of times. Like, here's where I'm currently at revenue wise. Here's where I want to go revenue wise. How many months do you think it will take me given my history, things like that. But the big decisions, the strategic pivots have to come from me. The other thing that I don't use AI for is anything that feels off. And this last one is really intuitive. And this is where I push my boundaries. So I'm a firm believer in, you don't know where the boundary is until it's pushed for most of the time, right? You don't know where that edge is. And so a lot of that for me comes with graphic and image creation. I have used ChatGPT to test out designing images. It is terrible. There are some exceptions to this. I think there's some fun use cases to this. Like I turned myself into a Barbie. I turned myself into a Muppet. I posted on social media. Harmless fun. But I think there is a danger in some of the artistic work that comes from AI. But that line still is very fuzzy to me. I'm constantly thinking to myself, is this okay or is that okay? Now, I think all of this matters because at the end of the day, AI is embedded into everything we do. We can't even look at a meta comment section without it summarizing the sentiment of the comments for us, right? We can't even look at our Gmail inbox and not have Gemini, giving us summaries of email. So AI is built into our world now. We cannot ignore it. However, I think that there's the line when it comes to plagiarizing or taking credit for something that AI has come up with completely. And a lot of that is going to rely on you and your intuition. I can't tell you what that looks like because for me, when I use voice to text and I have AI write something, I can then take that same chat and have it generate different versions of the same thing. I can input 3 past emails I've written and have it give me more ideas. So there is a line to all of this, but you have to figure out that line. At the end of the day, you're not a content machine. Okay. So in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think that there is a power in using AI as your assistant to help you, the human, the creator behind it all. And I know it's scary, especially when it comes to building trust as an online business owner. Any wrong step, any wrong move can deplete that trust with your community. Your stories are what build your trust. Your perspective, your history, your thought leadership are what builds the trust. Let AI help you in building that trust. That's what people remember. All right. If this feels good for you, if you are like, yeah, I want to give AI a try, I'm just not sure how, come on into the Mindful Marketing Lab. This entire series has been birthed from the work that we're doing inside of the lab. And I would love to support you. Use the code REALAI, that's REALAI, and you'll get $20 off your first month of the lab. Plus, I'm giving mini audits to anyone who comes through this right here funnel. I will audit one of your social media platforms, and it's just my way of helping you make a simpler, smarter marketing decision. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.